Hey people, it's me again, old Watachi. Yeah, I'm pretty tickled about my channel. It went from 38 subs, about 2.5 weeks ago, up to, I'm pushing 500 right now, which is better than I thought it would ever do. When I started my YouTube channel about 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, I just put a video here and there on it. Wasn't planning on really doing nothing with it. I finally decided that, I'd start making some videos and seeing if I could, share some of the information that I've gotten with other people and maybe help wake some people up, I used Facebook for years trying to wake people up on there, and there was a lot of people I was able to wake up, but it was mostly about government and law and everything. And, but there's so many people that just want to fight any kind of information, and that's what I don't get. Just like now, I try to go through my comments and I try to, acknowledge that I'm reading them so that people don't think they're just saying something and nobody's even paying no attention to it. So I tried to acknowledge them, and, I get a lot of comments that it's nothing more than it sounds like somebody's jealous. It sounds like, they hate the fact that somebody would question our authority, our government, our NASA, our scientists, so-called geniuses that have been in our past in this country, or not, maybe not even in our country, but in other parts of the world that are known for things. It just seems like some people can't accept the fact that we have all been lied to so much that our reality isn't even close to what it really is, what we've been told. Some of these people, you would think I called every female in their family a whore because they get so angry because I'm talking about something to do with science that they have never proven, but because these people went to a school that told them that gravity is a proven fact, that space is a proven fact, that planets are a proven fact, that we went to the moon and that was a fact. They act like if they found out this stuff wasn't true, that their entire world would just fall apart. They act like, with all those things, if they're not true, then maybe the Bible is. Maybe then that would mean God is true, that there is a God and that there is an afterlife, and if we do good in this life, we'll see eternity in heaven. They act like that's a punishment if they believe that. It makes no sense to me. Like I was saying with my Facebook pages, I've had about 7 of them. I'm down to 2 now because they keep locking me out of them because I say things that Facebook didn't like. And a few of them was my real name, Brian. I used my real name, and I'm even locked out of those. But it's like, and a lot of people don't know this. Some of you guys do know this to be true, but just for an example, the federal tax laws. We're put through however many 12 years of the grades, and then some of us go on to college like I did. I did 3 more years in college, and it's pumped in our heads that these words that we use every day. But we're taught English. We're taught how to spell these words. We're taught how to use these words in proper sentences. We're taught what a noun is, what an adjective is, what a pronoun is, and all this stuff to do with English, so that we can go out here and have conversations either on the job or have conversations with people we meet on the street and stuff, so we can converse with one another. But these words that we are taught while we're going through these public school systems, we get out here in the real world and we find out the truth that the government has taken these words that we use every day and they've changed the meanings to them, or they've changed the definitions to them. And the only reason they do that is because they don't want us to understand what they are doing. They don't want us to understand that they took our rights away from us. They don't want us to understand that the federal income tax, only corporations in this country are required to file and pay federal income tax. They have a book. The IRS has a book that's called the IRC, Internal Revenue Code Book. This book has all the laws in it as far as federal tax laws go. And it also has the definitions for these words that we think we know the definition to. But we really don't, because they take that same word and they change the definition to it to fool us, to make us think it says one thing when it really says another. And that way they can get us to file a federal income tax when we really don't owe it. If you look into the IRC book, this thing is 70,000 pages long. 70,000 pages. You can't buy it nowhere. You can't get the government to send you a copy of it. I don't know how you get one. I've been trying to get one for years. Now, the IRS, they will send you a copy of a page or something, but you don't get the definitions. You don't get the definitions of the words used on that, in that page. So what they basically do, and I'll give you an example, that a U.S. citizen, if somebody asks you if you're a U.S. citizen in this country, whether it be on an application, a border crossing, an immigration checkpoint, if they ask you if you're a U.S. citizen and you say yes, you're claiming to be a corporation. Now, if you look up the federal tax law, it says all U.S. citizens have to file and pay federal taxes. But then you get this IRC code book and you actually look up the definitions to that word U.S. citizen, and you see where it states right in it that it means corporations within the United States. Now, if you're claiming to be a corporation, then you have to pay them federal taxes. If you claim to just be an individual, which, again, the word individual in the IRC code book has a different definition than what you and I think it is. But if you're just claiming to be a human being that resides within the borders of America, the Republic of America, you as a resident of America, the Republic of America, does not owe federal income taxes. On top of it, what you're paid with is not even real money. It's not even real money. It's a promissory note. So if you're paid with a promissory note, and actually a lot of us don't even get that anymore. We get a damn card, and there's a credit that's issued to that card, and we spend that. So we're not giving no currency. We're not giving real money. So how can we owe an income tax when we don't even get income? We don't, people. That's why the federal income tax is 100% a volunteer tax. Now, the second you claim that you owe the government federal income taxes, like when you fill out your W-2s, or when you apply for a job and you fill out those tax papers saying you want them to take so much out of your paycheck for federal income taxes, you're claiming to be a corporation and you do owe it. The second you file it on April 16th saying I made $70,000 last year in income. Well, you just told the United States government you're a corporation and you have income. So you owe them the taxes on that $70,000. This is all you're doing, not them. This is your doing. So then you turn around and if you don't have the money to pay them, now they can come after you, prosecute you, and put you in jail for tax evasion if you don't pay them. Because you claim to be a corporation that owes the United States government, the corporation of the United States, income tax. Now, you guys can believe this all you want. It doesn't matter to me. It is not going to affect my life in any way, shape, or form. I don't care whether you believe it or not. But do you people realize that instead of fighting, I tell you something about, okay, they have never proven gravity. Instead of you calling me a dumbass, an idiot, some hillbilly don't know his ass from a hole in the ground, or anything else that you can come up with, instead of you doing that, how about, okay, if you think they haven't proved it, then prove it to me. If you think they've proven gravity, then all you have to do is just show me where your proof is. It's that simple, people. Why does it got to be a fight? Why does it got to be a name calling? Why does it got to be put downs? Because I have an opinion of something that I have researched, and I can actually prove that there is no scientific evidence about it, but you don't like the fact that I brought this up. Because then you'd have to admit that you've fallen for the same lies I've fallen for, and we've all fallen for them, just like the moon landing. We all fell for it. I asked my parents if they realized that the moon landing was fake. My mom said, no, it wasn't fake. I watched it on TV. Her words. Well, I watch a lot of stuff on TV that is fake. And so was the moon landing. But do you guys realize if we all came together, we all realized how big a lie. I mean, it started off with our parents lying to us about Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, Tooth Fairy, monsters under the bed, monsters in the closet, all unicorns, whatever you want. It started off with them. Then the schools started lying to us. And if you didn't put their lies on the test, you'd fail the class and have to take it over. So you pumped that crap into your head and you took the test and passed it or whatever. We got, if you graduated, you did. If you didn't, that doesn't affect me anyway. But they force you to believe this shit, and without any proof, just because they say, well, scientists are proving. There's planets, billions of planets out here in an endless space that nobody can ever get to. That there's all these little stars that you see in the sky, it's another sun and another galaxy and another that's millions and billions and gazillions of light years away that we can never get to. They can't prove none of it. But that's what they told us, and we believed it. Now, if we stop believing all the bullshit that they can't prove and all come together on it, maybe we would find out about a lot of crap that we've been lied to over our lifetime. In 56 years I've been here, there's been quite a few lies that I've come across. And it's just ridiculous. If we all came together, see, that's the thing. These people know, these people sitting in Washington, D.C., when this whole country started, those people worked 3 months out of the year. Now, they don't work any more than that right now, but they act like it's a full-time job, and they get the cheapest ones getting $170,000 a year, and they only work about 3 months out of the year. But they used to, those politicians, they would come in and work 3 months out of the year. They would go into Washington, D.C., whether they were senators or congressmen, and they would work at different times of the year for 3 months. It added up to. The rest of the year, they went back to their hometowns, and they worked a full-time job so they could pay their bills. Or they worked a business that they owned so they could pay their bills. They didn't make enough money up there in Washington, D.C. to pay their bills. They got paid for what they did. That was it. Today, they're not only getting $170,000, $180,000 a year, the cheapest one, but they're allowed to steal all of our money, our wealth, our land. They could sell us off to the damn China if they want to, because China owns a lot of us right now. And we all sit around and let it happen. You know, people sit around, oh, this is the land of the free and the home of the brave. Well, you ain't free, people. And as far as I'm concerned, there ain't none of us brave. Because by God, back in 1776, we started a war back then over a tea tax in Boston. Over a tea tax, we went to war with one of the biggest militaries in the world and fought them over it. Today, we're being taxed into the poorhouse. I've owned hundreds of cars, motorcycles, dirt bikes. I've lived in houses, I've lived in trailers, I've lived in a motor home, and I've lived in a 2-story, 4-bedroom, nice, beautiful homes. But I'll tell you what, that stuff don't mean nothing if you ain't free. And we aren't free, people. You go out here, we want them guys sitting in Washington, D.C. 7 days a damn week or 5 days a damn week, what? To pass more laws and regulations on us? Do we really need that? We don't need that. I don't need a government to tell me what's right and what's wrong. I don't need a government to tell me whether I can smoke pot. I don't need a government to tell me what my sexual partner should be. Or what I should, if I want to be called Mr., Mrs., Joe Schmo, whatever. I don't need a government to tell me how to do that. And by God, you don't either. You don't need a government to tell you the difference between right and wrong. You don't need a government to tell you whether you can do fucking heroin. I say, as long as you ain't robbing nobody, as long as you ain't hurting nobody, as long as you ain't tearing up nobody's property, have at it. If you want to kill yourself with heroin, have at it. That's what a free country is. If you want to grow some pot out in your backyard and smoke some pot, have at it. The only reason they're making any laws against it is because if you was growing your own pot in your backyard, you wouldn't be paying them for the weed you're buying off the streets. Who do you think's bringing the heroin in here? When they went into Afghanistan, one of the first things they did is they took over them poppy fields over there. And a few years later, we have a heroin addiction epidemic going on in our country. Who do you think's bringing it in? Who do you think armed all the damn Mexican drug lords down there in Mexico, fast and furious, loaded them up with damn military weapons? Who do you think runs that southern border down there? People, we could get our country back if we all stood together, learned what they're lying to us about, what they ain't. But no, we got to have these guys all. You got a southern accent. You're dumb as a bag of hammers. You don't know what you're talking about. Gravity exists. They've proven it. I don't have that proof, but they've proven it. The moon is a damn sphere. The damn Earth is a sphere. We're spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, flying through space at 666,600 miles an hour. Oh, my God, people. Oh, my God. I don't care if any of this shit. The only reason I'm telling you is I'm trying to convince you that they've lied to us. All you have to do is research this shit. You'll find out they have no scientific facts to prove this stuff. Now, I've gone on long enough, but I'm not going to keep wasting my time. I tell you what, I was trying to give people 3 strikes and you're out with name calling stuff. That's gone. If you want to come on my channel and name call, you're gone the first time, period. If you want to come on, tell people how stupid they are because they got a different opinion than you, gone. I don't care if I ever get another sub on my channel. I'm not doing it for the money, people. I'm not doing it to monetize it so I can sit back and make videos and be paid. I'm not doing it for that. I've been able to make money my whole life, and half of it I've been working for myself. So, make up your mind. If you're going to trash people, don't come to my channel, because I'm not going to let you trash me, and I'm not going to let you trash anybody else on my channel. If you want to debate stuff, then do it. That's what I want. I want people to throw stuff back and forth. Maybe we'll all learn something. All I'm doing is giving my opinion so that maybe somebody else might give me theirs. Maybe I am wrong. Maybe you got something that I don't or haven't thought of. And then we can both know it. Or we can both look for it, what the truth is. You people have a good day out there, and may God bless us all, because we're going to need it. Good day.